Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A Rapid City man has been identified in last week's deadly crash east of Spearfish. The South Dakota Department of Public Safety says it happened on I-90 around 6:45 Thursday evening. A car was stopped in the westbound lane when it was rear-ended by a pickup. Both vehicles ended up in the median.
The 20-year-old driver of the pickup was not hurt. The driver of the car, 39-year-old Marshall Oslund, was declared dead at the scene. South Dakota Highway Patrol is investigating the crash. Authorities in Custer County are warning residents about a scam. The sheriff's office says it received reports Monday of fake phone calls claiming that the victim failed to appear for jury duty or has an arrest warrant.
Officials say the scammer tells the victim he or she can avoid arrest by making a payment. That may include buying a prepaid card and giving the card number to the scammer. Authorities say the scammer may use real information about the victim and real names of officers to make the scam appear more credible. A Spencer, Iowa man is behind bars accused of threatening a family member with a chainsaw. Police say Sunday afternoon, 29-year-old Chawler Wadsley assaulted a family member. Officers say he then used a chainsaw to intimidate the victim.
Authorities say Wadsley resisted arrest, which led police to use a taser. He is in custody at the Clay County Jail on a $25,000 bond.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Good morning, Brian.
All right, good morning. Our forecast today looking pretty quiet, but we're getting set for some more active weather. We do have a winter storm watch in effect for the central and northern Black Hills. You can see that is mainly pertaining to Thursday, so several inches of snow can occur. Continue to watch the weather forecast. We'll let you know more about that later today and also, of course, tomorrow. Today's forecast, though, looks pretty good. Lots of sunshine this afternoon. 61 Sioux Falls, 65 degrees in Mitchell, 67 in Chamberlain, and 65 in Pierre. We'll track the latest developments on the changing weather coming up shortly in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Brian. A crowd of people showed up in downtown Sioux Falls Monday for Native Americans Day. The parade celebrating the state holiday traveled down several blocks of Phillips Avenue.
The event included floats, drums, dancers, and horses. One parade watcher said the event was a good way for people to learn about Native American culture. Before the parade made its way down Phillips Avenue, people celebrating Native American Day gathered in Lyon Park for a prayer service. Dozens of people formed a circle and joined hands in a show of spiritual strength and unity.
Those attending the service say events like this show a side of Native American traditions that many people may not be familiar with.
I think that there are a lot of stereotypes historically past, and I don't think that we fit those anymore. I think that we're productive citizens of the United States, and we pay taxes, we have jobs, and we participate in the community.
The prayer service also included the presentation of a quilt to Parade Grand Marshal 94-year-old Opal Stars, who's a prolific quilter herself. And we've brought you several reports in recent days about 12 runners' journey across South Dakota for the 437 project. Coming up tonight, we have 2 more reports for you that go to the heart of why they took it upon themselves to do this.
Abby Bruner of Sioux Falls was part of the crew supporting the runners as they made their trek. She's lived and survived the kind of experience that motivated runners' efforts. Her son Blake died by suicide last year.
I was at the dollar store. The lady behind the counter saw my shirt, and she said, "I lost someone to suicide. It was my son 5 years ago." And I said, "I did too." And she just said how much she really believed in what we were doing. And I gave her a big hug.
Coming up tonight on KELOLAND News, you'll learn about the kind of person her son Blake was and how he helped light the path for the runners conquering the state. Dan Santella will have those stories tonight on KELOLAND News.
Let's look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather forecast as we look at the snow chances Thursday into early Friday. Pretty high odds in the northern Black Hills that we're going to pick up some heavier snowfall. That's the probability of 3 inches of snow. If we move the bar forward, we come up to the 6-inch threshold, and that's even a moderate chance. So again, that's why that winter storm watch has been posted. What else will the weather do? Well, there's going to be a lot of things to talk about. While we introduce the snow to the west, we're going to have severe weather in eastern Nebraska. Some thunderstorms will likely come up into South Dakota as well, so make sure you're paying attention to that. There's a lot of wind in the forecast. It looks like strong northeast winds will eventually develop the next 48 hours. Here's a look at that low pressure center, and all of this is really going to start up Wednesday night. Western South Dakota will begin with that subject, and then as you see here, some thunderstorms in that risk zone east, kind of attendant to the warm front east of the low there. And a lot of that will stay south of our viewing area initially. But we'll get into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Some of those thunderstorms will come up to the South Dakota border. And then we'll just kind of watch to see how much of that fills in here Thursday night. Obviously, the potential is there for some hefty rain with some embedded 1-2 inch amounts. I might even say a 3-inch rain isn't impossible to get given the slow-moving nature of the storm. We'll see how much of that gets into Minnesota, where the drought is more intense. And, of course, we continue to caution on that. But it does look like it's going to rain for a big part of Minnesota, getting into Thursday and Friday, even lasting into early Saturday. We may not be done just quite yet. And, of course, it's going to set up a pretty cool weekend. 61 today, Sioux Falls. Dry skies for everybody today. Rapid City there at 67. Our forecast low tonight, 41 Sioux Falls, 43 in Mitchell, 44 in Winter. And then tomorrow, back up into the low to mid 60s east, mid to upper 60s central. And the 7-day forecast looking good until we get to Thursday. Now, and then that's when all this rain comes in. Now, of course, some of you like the rain after the drought we've had over the summer, but farmers will be stalled. I don't think we're going to get much harvesting done until we work this system out of here by the time we get to early next week. Aberdeen in the northeast also looking at good chances of rain, although the probabilities are not as high for heavier rain, but I think we'll get some rain to work its way into the region. Farther to the west, Pierce, central South Dakota, good chances of rain, but keep in mind if you're north toward Mobridge, it'll be less. If you're south toward Winter, it will be more. And then Rapid City also plays out into this rainy, cool forecast. And yes, that snow will be flying in the Black Hills. Check out the latest details on your forecast at KELOLAND.com.